What is going on out there, peeps? Man, there's a lot of interesting things going on with gold, silver, and cryptocurrencies. Cryptos are still on the run. We're going to cover some things here in just a second because I got something to share with you guys in just a sec. Look, if you think about buying precious metals, and please, I can't recommend it enough, I suggest you go check our friends over there at Money Metals Exchange out. The link is in the description. If you are a first time buyer and you buy more than $100 worth of precious metals, use promo code Pimpy, Pimpy, and get a free half ounce of silver. As you know, I'm not on Facebook at the moment. I do have Twitter. The link is in the description. Come on over and join me. Looky here, man. Bitcoin is still rising. I started yesterday. It came down just a little bit. Well, I won't say a little bit. It came down pretty good, and then all of a sudden went right back up. Now we're at $13,600. And for those of you who are thinking about buying cryptocurrencies, the link is in the description. Follow it, and it'll give you 10 free dollars just for following the link. And after you get signed up, if you scroll down, you can do where it says earn free cryptos. You can earn over $100 worth of cryptocurrencies. So anyways, look at it. Here is XLM's at just a little over 8 cents. Where we at? Litecoin, 58.58. Stinky Chain, 12.40. XRP at 25.26. It just kind of lingers there. My favorite, of course, Ethereum's at 408.42, but Bitcoin has been running like a mofo, even though the bigger changes percentage-wise has been, of course, on my cryptocurrency, Ethereum. Um, Bitcoin is running away or starting to run away. So I'm not sure what's going on, but, again, I have my doubts about cryptocurrencies, but I'm also smart enough to understand there's a window of opportunity to be involved in cryptocurrencies, and I think that window is now. So I do pump money into them, but not a lot. A few $1,000s. Okay, so let's get into gold and silver. I told you guys it's been running horizontal, but it's not going to last long. So look, people are like, "What didn't you say?" Okay, look, I'm sharing with you the information I get, and based on the information I get, I give you guys my opinion. There was a lot of talk about the U.S. dollar being removed as the reserve dollar, and to let you know, it's still being talked about. Did it happen during the IMF meeting? No, but they did talk about it still, and it's still being talked about today. Okay, so that means something big. In addition to that, we're noticing that the market, silver and gold, as well as cryptocurrencies, are all moving in the same direction at the same time. This is an artificial pump and dump, okay? So what I mean by that is, when it goes down, they shouldn't be bringing. If the market goes down, gold and silver should be going up. Cryptocurrency should be going up. The fact that they're all pegged to one another is not good. This just means, we can't really trust the numbers that we're seeing there. But there's some disturbing things happening with precious metals, still being manipulated. But what I mean by that is you can only hold the ball underwater for so long. You guys are getting impatient. In addition to that, we're anticipating some type of revaluation announcement. But as you can see, we're currently in the middle of a very, very embroiled election time. A lot is going on. It's distracting from a lot of other things. But while all those distractions, which are planned, by the way, to keep you from noticing the failures of our governments around the world and our banks to be good stewards of our monetary system and should all be thrown in jail for crimes that they've committed, they were nice enough to slap us with a, pandemic. In addition to that, they're continuing to manipulate the markets for as long as possible. Okay, as they store up on gold and silver and jockey themselves to get in position to weather out the storm, they keep us distracted with all the BS. But nonetheless, look, I'm telling you, your investment into gold and silver is going to be one of the wisest choices you've ever made. Okay, so just leave it alone. It's going horizontal. This gives you an opportunity to keep stacking up on silver. You shouldn't be getting bored. They were talking about the reason why Bitcoin was going up and gold and silver staying level was because investors in precious metals were getting bored with the fact that it's stagnant. It's just sitting around the same levels. And so they get bored with it and they want to go play with cryptocurrencies. Don't do that. It'll bite you in the butt in the end. So let's get into a couple of interesting articles or reports. I want you to listen to the Atlantis Report. I love their reports, but they tend to be sometimes way out in left field. We're going to listen to a few minutes of this because even Atlantis is now telling you guys to buy precious metals. Let's check it out.
America is on the fast track to an unprecedented historic collapse. Overtaxation, endless wars, corruption, inflation, rising inequality, the collapse of the petrodollar, failure to invest in jobs for Americans, all of these are in play to produce a death spiral for the end of an empire just like all the empires before, and I don't see a reverse of this great decline unless there's root and branch reform. The lockdown has destroyed the travel, hotel, airline, entertainment, and restaurant sectors. Economic exhaustion from giveaways to the rich and big business. Social exhaustion from neglect of the domestic social and physical infrastructures. Private capital gambled on the markets rather than invested in production. Unneeded capital chasing too little of value. Insufficient consumer spending to stimulate economic expansion. A government foundering on an archaic federal structure riddled with greed, corruption, deceit, and partisan politics. America's economy is in tatters right now, with debt spiraling even further out of control. The ongoing collapse of our economy continues. The future does not look bright economically. Too many people, and automation will ensure even less are needed to produce what is consumed. An economy propped by junk borrowing and hollow spending either needs a massive exodus or another depopulating event, or a massive new works program to increase the value of labor versus capital. So much that could collapse has not yet collapsed, and so little support is coming from the federal government for the unfortunate victims.
So, look, a lot of this I don't agree with because I do believe part of what the problems. So basically, the Atlantis Report is pointing out a lot of problems that are going on now. But keep in mind, Trump has been trying to deal with a lot of these issues, and for the past 2 years has not gotten any type of cooperation whatsoever from the Democrats, who wasted their entire past 2 years going on and on about trying to find a way to remove Trump instead of focusing on the needs of the American people. So in the first 2 years that Trump was in office, we've seen a lot of great things happening and taking place. The next 2 years has been one issue after another dealing with the Democrats. That's why if you want to see all these changes that we need in order to get back on track, you need to make sure to get out there and vote, and not just vote for Trump, but vote down ballots. So vote your Republicans in office in the Senate as well as in the Congress, all right, so that Trump will have control of the House and Congress so they could pass the laws necessary to fix all this, including putting us back on the gold standard. Okay, so look, there is a lot of corruption there, and that's what's been pointed out these last 4 years. If you want something done about it and you're tired of the status quo, we need to make sure Trump is reelected along with control of the House and the Senate.
That I don't see how we aren't heading for a cliff, into economic circumstances far worse than what we've experienced so far unless something changes for the better, and fast. A country financing half of its state expenditures by money printing is at the end of its choices, full stop. 60 million plus are on the government unemployment cheese dole. Millions are falling off the rolls after 26 weeks.
Okay, you said falling off the cheese dole. That's funny. That's an old school term. So back in the days when people were on welfare, this is like in the late 70s and the 80s, we used to get this thing that's called government cheese. It was like this huge block of cheese. I mean, it was huge, man. It's like a block, one solid block. And so we ate a ton of grilled cheese sandwiches, but that stuff would make you so constipated, man. It was terrible. Oh, my God. I'm just curious how many of you guys ever had to experience the government cheese blocks.
This does not count the self-employed, and it does not count the dreaded U6 unemployment number, which is over 90 million.
Okay, just so you guys are aware, the U6 unemployment numbers are the true unemployment numbers. Politicians don't use them because they're not going to come out and tell you that 90 million people are unemployed. They use, I believe it's called the U1 report, U3 report, and in there it looks different. It will say something like, oh, there's only 11 million people unemployed. The U6 number is the true unemployment number, okay?
Long-term unemployment spikes for millions of Americans, with no relief in sight. Welcome back to the Atlantis Report. You are here for your daily dose of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Please take a second to click the like button. Many of you have asked me where they can buy silver and gold bullion. You will find in the description
Just
box
go
the links
over
where you
here.
can buy American Silver Eagle,
Right here
silver
at Money
bars,
Metals
or
Exchange.
rounds.
The link is in the
I
description.
highly recommend that you start stacking some silver bullion for the future.
Me too.
The full
I
impact
recommend
of the
it.
pandemic has yet to be felt. Many businesses have been barely hanging on in hopes of the fictitious.
So anyways, I will leave a link to this video. The Atlantis Report does a great job. Look at, even now they're talking about they are pushing us into economic collapse. And then they're going to offer us the great reset. I already told you guys how I felt about that. This was the plan. It is the plan. They placed that pandemic on us. Make no doubt about it. Now, here's why I'm telling you, you investing into precious metals was a great choice. Check out what's going on over there in Mexico. Now, this is for October 21st. I know it's in Spanish, but this lady's going to translate it in English.
What does that mean? Rest assured, the rest of this will be in English, and it translates to Mexico runs out of gold. Its
What?
mint has stopped selling the centenary bullion. Fascinating times. So let's get into the article, briefly looking at a Word document here, which I took a look at this. Trust me, Google Translate does not help, especially for a native speaker. It does not help. So, all right. The Mint of Mexico, which administratively depends on the Ministry of Finance, but whose merchandise is obtained mainly from Mexico, affirms that it does not have stocks of the precious metal, and therefore will not sell gold coins for the remainder of the year until 2021. It is the well-known economist and analyst Guillermo Barra, who in his blog has just published his opinion on the matter based on a doubt. Do neither Banxico nor the CMM really have these coins, or do they not want to sell them at the current low price? Would they prefer to mint metals that are sold at a premium compared to their metallic value and that are not an option to invest?
So this article and what she just said brings up a good point. It seems like mints everywhere have either stopped or drastically slowed down. They're claiming it's due to the Rona, but yeah, could it be? Could it be that they are aware that the prices on precious metals are getting ready to change, and so they're trying to hold on to their inventory as long as possible? Is that possible? Remember, these mints are government mints, which means the precious metals are held by the governments. So either way you look at this, either these governments are holding back the precious metals because they know a revaluation is coming and they want to hold out for the higher price, or they literally have ran out of precious metals. Either way, it's great for us. This is what I'm trying to tell you. I know everybody's like, isn't this thing supposed to happen? Isn't this thing supposed to change? There's lots of reasons to believe some changes should have already happened. People are going, didn't you say that we were supposed to have some reset? It happened. It's when we moved from the LIBOR system into the SOFR system. It's never been done before. There was anticipation of a major crash in the market, and it started to crash but was saved artificially. But even so, still experts are saying we have not gotten out of the woods 100% of what's happening with this transfer from one system to the other. It's like they're hiding the truth from us for now. So it's still, all these things still might happen. All right, you guys, I know a lot of you guys jumped into this thinking you're going to get rich tomorrow morning. It doesn't work that way. But let me just say this. Over what's going on over these next, look at that, already up to, man, this thing's good. So just because you see green or just because you see red, you notice the prices have stayed pretty consistently in the same areas. This is the best time for you guys to start stacking more. Add to your collection of silver. Do it while it's still cheap. When I tell you this, once the prices start to take off, you will never, ever, ever see prices this low ever again. Not ever. This is really, really super low, you guys. All right? So I want to encourage you to get out there and stop being so impatient. We have been expecting a lot of changes that have not happened yet. But even so, this cannot continue to go on and on and on. It just can't. There's still people and jockeying into position for precious metals. What's freaking people out is the fact that China seems to, and now Russia, have both stopped, it seems like, buying gold all of a sudden and have now focused big time on the silver market, which is more scarce than the gold market. When people ask me, do you think silver will ever pass gold in value? Yeah, yeah, I do. There's way too many commercial uses for silver. With everybody trying to head in that whole new green direction, it's going to jack silver prices up really, really high. The demand for it is going to become ridiculous. You're going to love the fact that you bought some silver. Okay, so look, you guys, we're still going. And it's not that I was avoiding, and I know people go, you still haven't done your stock watch. I go, I know. Trust me, there's 5 billion things going on. So, and where we live here in California, you know, these guys want to convince us that they should be in government more or continue to stay in government. I'm talking about the Democrats that run this country. But they can't seem to figure out how to keep the power on in our state. They keep doing these rolling blackouts. So sometimes I have to do these videos on my phone, which is not easy. And not to mention the fact that my phone I have to charge up every 5 minutes when I get a chance by sitting in the car and turning it on. Yeah, that's how bad it is right now. But the power did come back on, and so everything seems to be boosted up, and we're ready to go. But nonetheless, look, you guys, just have faith. Hang tight. It's going to change. They cannot continue this facade for much longer. This election is going to tell us everything we need to know, and this election is coming up here in just a few days. So don't forget to get out and vote. All right, you guys, that's it for now. Hit the thumbs up button on this one because this is good news. Whether the bank is or whether the mint is actually holding on to the precious metals for a higher price, or they're actually out of the precious metals, which I find a little hard to believe since Mexico, I think, has the world's largest silver deposits. You know, maybe they ran out. Maybe they're no longer there. But nonetheless, I will leave the links to the video so you guys can come check this out as well. All right, so smash the like button. I told you guys, just be patient. It's going to work out. And keep stacking. Don't stop stacking, man. That's the best I can tell you guys. All right, that's it for now. If you're not a subscriber, please do so, because when you do, it helps out the channel, and I surely do appreciate it. And I'll catch you later.